by our bed. The suspense is pounding and clouding up my
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Gentlemen After Dark Wednesday. We are live here. Fuego's in the building. Fuego.
Hi.
We are live. We are listening to a little bit of music. I
I
do
thought I was late.
this here music. Actually, I was supposed to be like this at first. Mm. Anywho, we don't own the rights to this here music, but we are playing it. Shouts out to my honey who selected that song tonight. There's a stranger in my house. And no, don't take off with the what I just said. Don't take off with it. It is what it is. But no, it ain't that. But yeah. Anywho, Trina, thank you. Thank you for the song. You know I'm always clowning. Always clowning. We're gonna give it a few minutes, give some folks a chance to get up in here. I see Fuego's on the Red Bull. Is that the watermelon?
Yes, that's my favorite right now.
Two, B2. That part. Good too.
I need it tonight.
Yeah. I got the bonded Jack Daniels in the Who Dat. Look at that. In the Who Dat glass. What?
Nice.
Who that? You know,
Nice.
to my Saint Squad LA. Cheers to you. How you feeling?
Good.
You good? That's what's up.
A little tired like normal, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Heck for the weekend.
Bounce back from that cold.
Yeah. I'm good.
Berdina. I see you, Berdina. Berdina's in the building. Prompt, early. I appreciate it. I don't know where everybody else is. I ain't heard nothing, but I thought it was just gonna be me, but it's me and you, Fuego. Yet again, it's me and you.
Where is everybody?
I don't know. That's a good question. Or could it be that the stranger is me? PK's in the building, my sister, all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. She said, hey, family. Dynamic duo. I'm Batman. Shoot, he do. Busy's in the building. V-Rod, what up with you, man? How's Franklin and Michael and Trevor? Are you making some progress or you still stuck? Anywho, I'm just playing this song. It's a nice little segue into tonight's discussion. You know, shoot, he do. He said, bruh, I already know. Oh, my goodness. Once you get the story mode done the first time, you're going to go back and do it again, and it's going to be a piece of cake for you. So have fun with it, man. Keep having fun with it. Anywho, we got about 8 viewers in the building. 8 viewers in the building. The song is coming to an end. It is Gentlemen After Dark Wednesday, a place where grown folks can talk without judgment. Tonight, it's going down. It's, I don't know, Fuego. I might have to hold back because
They better not have left me by myself.
Hey, man, we might have to take some callers or something. Like, would anybody like to be on the show with us? You know, so Fuego is not all by herself. All the way from Mississippi, my cousin. I see you, man. What up with you, Drip? Shouts out to my cousins, Bruce, Bill Douglas. Come on, man. Where y'all at with it? Come through. I'll at your cousin. You know, I don't want to be gangbanging on here. Cousin. PK said, you're not alone. That part right there.
Oh, I know. She's always here. Thank you.
Shoot, be do. Well, hey, you know what? As they say in Hollywood, the show must go on. So that's what we're going to do. Fuego, I promise you, I'm not going to go too hard in the paint on you per se, but we are going to get this in. Let's see what happens. You know, I'm sure Snoopy Cliff Mello is going to tap in shortly. I didn't see any other messages. My bro Humvee, what's up, Humvee? Now I'm getting these text messages talking about I'm running a little late. No, you're running a whole lot of late. You're late. but I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. Anywho, when they get here, they get here. So, Miss Yvette, I see you. I see you, Miss Yvette. Thank you for being here. Always one love to you. Humvee, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And I think I got everybody here. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So look, we're gonna get right into it. We're not gonna waste no time because time is precious. Um, I was having a conversation, as I always do, with one of my bros, if you will. Peaches is in the building. Wait, oops. Bam. There you go. Peaches in the building. She said, is that holla or hola?
Hola.
Shooby doo. Okay, Detroit representing too. I see you. Reaper, what up with you, man? Thank you for being here. So I want to start off the night, and it seems like I'm going to have to play it again, but I want to start it off with an intense conversation or on the topic of a conversation that I had earlier today. And simply it was about forced healing. Forced, meaning you force somebody into healing. I want to talk about that a little bit. But in order to talk about it, I was trying to figure out how can I show this TikTok video, but I couldn't figure that out. So what I am going to do is play. Okay, here we go.
Sorry, I'm tardy for the party.
Where you at? In the Boca Raton or you on a cruise ship? Where you at?
I'm doing me.
I'm doing
She's
me.
on her birthday cruise.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm
well,
cruising right now, y'all.
look, Miss Three is in the building, y'all. Let's go ahead and give her a couple of days after the fact. It's her birthday, y'all. She turned the double nickels. The double nickels. Here we go. Let me give it to you. Just in time for her birthday, he chimes in. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Anywho, I ain't messing with y'all. Y'all a distraction. We jumping right in. What up, Snoopy Cliff Mellow? You good?
Oh my gosh.
What's up, guys?
Happy birthday, 3.
Thank you.
So the topic that
Are
we're
you
going
in
to
your
start off
birthday
with.
suit?
Am I wearing my birthday suit?
Yeah.
Hmm.
She said, you got to think about it.
The topic for
No,
tonight.
I just don't think I should answer in public settings.
I'm
There he
not.
goes.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm
Good
not.
morning.
I'm not. The dude Devin's in the building, y'all. The dude Devin. They
Good
all
morning. Good
tardy.
morning.
In
Yeah.
in my club, they would get a fine. Oh,
Look, I'll cash app you then because I'm on the clock. So I
hey,
might as well keep it going.
look, hold on real fast. Bam, you can just send it right there to Gman. Run me that.
Run the
Run
fade.
me
Yeah.
that. I'll accept it.
Gotcha.
Anywho,
Okay, you got $2 coming your way.
$2. Okay, $2 Chuck. Let's go. So
Late
look,
fees.
I wanted to start tonight by talking about forced healing. I think that inner healing is important for all of us. A lot of us are going through some things. You know, we've had conversations about mental wealth and the whole 9 yards in the past. But forced healing, what exactly is forced healing? You know, when there's that other soul that's pushing you, driving you, trying to motivate you to get better, to get through whatever your situation is. They are the driving force behind you to hurry up through the process and get better. I was looking at a TikTok today. I'm going to play it. So listen closely as possible, and then let's talk about it.
When y'all having a comfortable relationship,
Hold on, here we go.
it is not your job to convince someone to heal, grow, or evolve. And what happens when you try to force someone that you love to heal, grow, or evolve when you want them to? You rob them of the opportunity to receive their lessons that are still in the midst of their pain, chaos, addiction, self-sabotaging behaviors. Sometimes people have to go through those things so they can heal, grow, and evolve from a place that is from their spirit. If a person starts to heal, grow, evolve, or change because they want to make you happy, it may be short-lived. But when you give a person permission to be who they are, even if it's in conflict with who you are, you still give them permission to heal at the rate that their soul has intended for them to heal, not at the rate that you want them to heal, just so you can feel more comfortable in your relationship. So if that is impeding on y'all having a comfortable relationship, then that's a different story. But you should love and respect a person's soul disposition, their karmic disposition, and their soul's fulfillment enough to where you give them the room and the space to heal, grow, and evolve when their soul has told them it's time and not on your time. It is not your job to convince someone to heal.
Ta-da! I'm gonna give this to that young lady right there because yeah, shoot be do. Now let's talk about it. Everybody's kind of meditating. What do you think about what she said?
She's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The best way I could describe it, what she's saying is when you have children, but your children are now adults. So when they were 3 or 4, you say, "Hey, you need to do such and such and such." They'll go ahead and do it, or they'll be hard headed and they won't do it. But then when they get to be 33, now it's like you need to do this, you need to do that. Nah, I'm not ready to do that, mom, dad, or I'm not in a position where I can do that. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost the same as that. It was actually the exact same because just because you see me somewhere, that doesn't mean I'm ready to be there yet. Because I have to go through, like she was saying, I have to go through whatever I need to go through. All that's a process that I need to go through before I get to that specific space in my life. And just because you can already see me there, that doesn't mean that I'm supposed to be there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I had this conversation earlier, a similar conversation today, um, with someone regarding their friend who has had a lot of trauma in her life dealing with men. She was with a guy from high school, ended up marrying him. They recently got divorced, and now she's been dating around, but she's dating the same kind of guy that she just left. She's a giver. She's doing all she can, and her thing is, if I give so much, then one day they'll give to me. But in the meantime and in between time, she's miserable. So, I listened to my friend tell me about her friend, and what I said was, you can't you can't push a person to be where, like Devin said, where they should be until they want to be that. Even her, even the person themselves. There's a process. We talked about this before. There's always a process, and we as humans, and I can speak for myself. Sometimes you want to skip the process, but you have to go through that. You got to go through the pain, the hurt, the realization that this ain't working for me, and then a resolution. Until you go through all of that, it don't matter if it's me trying to force myself or somebody else. You,
Uh-oh. Apple, rotten fruit.
yeah, you gotta go through the process.
All right. Absolutely. Anybody
Yeah,
else?
I agree with everything that she said. And I think that um, by pushing someone or, not giving them their own space to do the healing process, everything, you are jeopardizing a relationship, friendships, or, even within family members, you're jeopardizing relationships with them because it's not going to last long.
Right.
If they're doing it on your terms, they're still not going to be fixed. So putting the pressure and judgment and whatever. Everybody heals and deals with things differently. So it's they're so like individual cases.
Right. Who am I to dictate to you when it's the appropriate time for your healing?
You
That,
can't.
that's
You
that's
you
the very
can't.
first question I ask. Who am I? You, but there are a lot of us who we're paying attention to others, and we want to be the fix all, the cure all, if you will, to problems. We are not the solutions. We're not.
And
Uh,
sometimes, I don't know if you've seen Sun Kiss See Heal. I just didn't want to miss that comment about yes, help when asked, encourage when needed, and listen when they need to vent. Um, which is a good some great information to share with us. And sometimes she said, give people permission to heal where they are. I think the tricky part sometimes can be when you're in a relationship that people make decisions for you. They don't give you they don't give you space to make a decision. Like if they hypothetically, if they ghosted you, right? And then months later they want to finally tell you why, but they didn't open up in the first place to say, hey, here's what I'm going through, here's what I'm feeling, I just need some space to deal with that, to allow you to make a sound decision if you want to deal with it or not. But decisions sometimes are made for you when people walk away or when people need to heal. It's fair that you need to heal, but it's just taken for granted. Like, shouldn't I be a part of that conversation?
Right.
hmm, I agree to that. I think a lot of times we ourselves don't even know that we're going through it. We know we're going through something, but we don't know what exactly we're going through. We just kind of exist. Is that the right word? We just exist. But when you realize, I think it was Mello that made the use the word realization. When you come to realize that I'm going through it right now. Now I understand I may need to talk to somebody. I may need just to talk out loud and somebody just hear me. I'm not asking you to give me no solutions. I just need to get it off my chest and let's move forward. What do you do? You all right, Fuego? Yeah.
I'm good.
You said I'm good. But what do you do? And there's a lot of, and I'm gonna focus on that word forced. Forced. And I focus on that because the people on the outside, they always see what they see. They see their interpretation of what you are or who you are or what you're going through. But do they actually ask what you're going through? What's wrong? And if they do ask what's wrong and you give them that nothing, I'm good, I'm all right, do they stop there or do they jump to their own conclusion and move accordingly or move how they feel?
I think it's man, I've been through that like recently. I think it's about projection and I think it's about people's ego because it's like, hey, you really should be in school to do X, Y, and Z right now. Well, if that person goes to school and starts to doing it, now here comes somebody with their chest out. Yeah, I was telling them that they needed to go to school. I'm glad they went to school. Then when they like you're gonna ride their coattail everything that they do pertaining to them going to school for whatever it is, just because you said something about it. It's almost like your ego is getting off because somebody else is doing something just because you said something about it.
Mhm.
And I think that's what it is with the healing aspect too, because especially with people who think that they've healed or they claim that they've already healed. I've always been told never trust a man who said he's found wisdom. Trust a man who said he's in search of it. So if you saying that you healed, or you saying that you've already processed this to the third, you just talking, because it's an ongoing process. You saying it like it's past tense, but it should be an ongoing thing. So if you're trying to tell me that I should be doing what you're doing, it's probably more like you're trying to get me to do it so that you can vicariously get the benefits of what you should be doing for yourself, because I'm doing it. So you don't have to do the legwork. I do it, and then you got your chest stuck out because I'm doing something that you should be doing for yourself too. So it feels like you're doing it as well. In my opinion, I think that's a lot of the reason why stuff like that happens, where people's trying to hurry up and get you to heal, or hurry up and get you to go to school, or whatever the case is, because their opinion says you should do it.
Right. Let's see here. PK says, I'm thankful for being an outlet for my friends and family that choose to come to me. A lot of times they just want to be heard without judgment and added opinions. We, as the listener, have to learn not to insert ourselves into the situation and just be there.
Just listen.
Yeah. And that right there, that last sentence basically is the most difficult part. That's the most difficult part, because we are quick. Oh, this is what you do. All right. When that's not what we should be doing. We should be just simply,
or not even so much. This is, giving advice. It's putting your own experience and, inserting that too. Well, when I went through this, or I can relate to this, instead of just listening.
Right.
And if they do ask for your thoughts and your opinions, one way, because some people you'll be a great listener and they'll say, well, what do you think? Like, what should I do? Like, sometimes they were asking you those things, but one of the things that I've learned, especially in my professional life, is ask them why questions instead of answering their question. Like, if they say, I'm always beat myself up because I don't seem like I don't ever get it right. Why do you feel like you don't get it right? Mm-hmm. Instead of me saying, well, you don't get it right because X, Y, and Z, but why do you feel you don't get it right? Because every time I try, it just doesn't work out. What do you think is blocking you from letting it work out? Like, you just keep asking them questions, because 9 times out of 10, people come up with their own solutions.
Yeah.
If they're just able to talk through it, and if we ask the right questions, if we just say the whys, then it just kind of falls into place. And then they're like, dang, I never thought it ends up with them most times saying, dang, I never thought of it that way. And they usually
pull it out their own mind. Even though.
Exactly.
I believe those.
Well, most people know what they should do.
Mm-hmm.
I've said that before too. That's we're constantly in search of validation.
That's the word.
That's why people switch churches. They want to go to. I had this debate on Instagram with some people. They switch churches to the church. The pastor, preacher, whatever you want to call them, says something that will allow them to do what they want to do. And so some of us or some of our friends ask us something because they feel we're so connected that we're going to say something similar that either allows them to continue to do what they're doing or make that change. And like 3 said, when you go to a therapist, the therapist is not there to solve your problems.
Right.
They're there to help you get to wherever you need to get to on your own, where you can solve them. And like 3 said, they're asking leading questions. They shouldn't be in there telling you what you need to do. And Onyx and I have had several deep conversations, and I think our solution, we don't give each other solutions. We ask each other either questions or we're quiet and just listen to the venting. But I don't, and he can correct me, I've never said, well, you should do this. And I know he hasn't, well, you should do this. There's always leading questions that is going to lead me to something deep down. I know what I should be doing anyway. But for some reason, we hold ourselves back and we don't want to do that. And when you do that, there's no progress.
And that comes from fear. I think it come that right
Yeah,
there because like you don't want other people to see you do something and fail at it, or it seemingly fails in the beginning when in the long run it does well. So you don't want to hear the critiques and the the ridicule if it doesn't go right or if it doesn't work as fast as you wanted it to. So it's kind of like I don't want to. I don't. Sometimes people won't even try because they don't want to fail too badly, and then somebody else ends up seeing that they don't want to do that.
but elder once told me a long time ago. One of my business partners, who's an older guy, and if you read in my book, The Next Dynasty, failure is not an option. Uh,
Everybody should be reading.
Yes, we do.
you can't have the smooth without the rough. Me
Mhm.
being a cabinet maker, to get wood smooth, I have to use sandpaper. Sandpaper is rough, but the various degrees of it ends up making your end product smooth.
Right.
So I know I said this to Ani, you can't run from your problems. You got to go through them, and that's been my motto for years. Like whatever's in my way, I'm going to go through it. I'm gonna come out with scratches and scrapes, but I know in the end I'm gonna be smooth. I'm gonna be a better person.
Facts.
Definitely.
Facts. I see you three promoting that book there. I think we all have obtained our copies. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
have
I love you all for that.
right. I'm gonna have to pause my screen so I could go get my book and hold it up. But no, solid words, man. Solid words. Again, just listening to that young lady, it really sit well with me in what she had to say. And as I always say on this here show, this here podcast, uh, I am not a psychiatrist, psychologist, nor am I a gynecologist. And that and that goes for OBYN and so on and so forth. I'm none of the above, but I do appreciate
I play
conversation.
one on TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm glad y'all finally admit that y'all played one.
yeah, play one
But
on
no,
TV with the
I
camera.
appreciate conversation with people. I am very much a people person. I'm a product of the South. I'm that guy that, your mama told you don't talk to strangers, period. You don't talk to nobody. If it wasn't Snoopy Cliff Mello, if it ain't him, I, there would be no Devin, there would be no Fuego, there would be no three. There is
With
no
no none of
conversation with
y'all.
none of them people. You don't know who they are, period. Well, my mom at this late dating age is concerned about her son. Why? Because he's a people person. Every time I talk to her, I done met somebody and I'm talking to somebody and well, who was that? Did you grow up with them? No. Where'd you meet them at? Oh, on the motorcycle scene, at work, hanging out with
So
football, whatever. My mom, she stresses out. Even at this point, I'm a grown man. But she's still on that don't talk to strangers. Well, life changes, man. It changes. And sometimes just the simple act of talking and listening helps a person get through a perfect stranger. I don't know how many times Mello and I have said, man, you can't go nowhere and not know somebody. Well, that's wearing off on him at this point. He know people just like I know people. We all know people, but sometimes those people that we know, we don't really know them. We think we know them,
Uh-huh.
acquaintances.
and we don't. And we don't take the time to really get to know them. I know you got a problem. Here's the answer to fix your problem. This is what you need to do. Period. That's it. That's how we want to address each other. And that's just not where we need to be. We really do need to listen because some of us really have some deep down serious issues that we need to address. I'm not going to say fix them, I'm going to say address them, but we're afraid to address them. So that's just my thoughts. Any final thoughts on
I
this?
I just want to add one thing. When I was going to therapy, the therapist told me something that was real. It really goes with this conversation. And she said, if somebody's in a car accident and they on the side of the street and you go over to them and you see that they're shaking and they're going into shock, what do you do? And everybody was raising their hands saying, try to keep them warm, give them a blanket and this, that, the third. And she said, all of y'all are wrong. She said, the reason why you see people doing it on TV and you see people trying to do that in real life because somebody is hurt and they're going into shock is because that person is trying to make themselves comfortable because it's uncomfortable to see this person in this messed up situation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to stop you from going through what you're going through to make myself feel better. So it's almost kind of like what we're talking about. I was dealing with that, and now you're dealing with it. So here's what you should do, because in order for me to watch you go through that, I gotta feel like that too. I got to kind of go through that a little bit again because I'm more of a empath person. I'm empathetic towards what you're going through, especially if I've been through it before. So I'm trying to hurry up and get you to get over it and stuff like that, because now I don't want to get backtracked into feeling like I was feeling when I was in that situation. So I'm trying to get you to come up out of it so I don't have to feel like that, because it's uncomfortable for me, instead of just letting you do you, staying in your lane, I stay in my lane, because you may get through it faster than I would have. You see what I'm saying? So that was something else that I want to add to it, because that's something that I always kept with me, that sometimes you have to let people go through their own process themselves. You can't even be present with them while they're going through that. Sometimes they need to go off and be alone physically and, kind of just get themselves together without the distraction of you trying to tell them it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to make it out of this. They don't need to hear this. Sometimes they need to hear what's going on in their mind and in their heart.
Right. Look, let me give it to all of y'all. I agree 100% all the way around. And I like the last point that you just made, Devin. Basically, we become selfish. We become selfish for our own self, not thinking about what the next person truly needs. What do they need? I just need some space to say what I need to say, get it off my chest, blah, blah, blah. But like you said, we'll fast track them in order to get past it because we don't want to deal with it our own self. I don't know if you guys remember when I had Miss Wanda E on the show, and we were talking about the mental wealth, and she even said that you have to, at this point, you have to ask permission. Hey, the dude, is it okay if I vent? Can I say something? Is it all right? Because you might not be mentally prepared to deal with what I'm about to drop on you. Sure. You may not want to deal with that. But we are so vocal and animate about, I just got to say what I need to say, blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, you drop the bomb on them, and then boom. Boy, what's that, Tennessee whiskey?
I know, that's what I thought when he was first drinking it. I was like, damn, isn't he at work?
I'm at work and I'm on my lunch break. Go peek. Sweet tea. This is not a commercial. Forget y'all. I'm multitasking, man. Go ahead.
Okay. But no.
Just because the label says that don't mean what's inside of it. Right. We didn't see you open it.
It looked brown.
Exactly.
Hey, if this was that, y'all wouldn't be able to tell me to shut up. So just know I'm good.
I don't think we tell you to shut up now. So shoot, we do. Anywho, you guys, for those of us that's going through it, don't allow anybody to force you through your process. It's a journey. It's a journey for a reason. Embrace the journey and do your utmost to get through the journey. It didn't say hurry up and get through it. It says get through it. Get through it. It's going to take time. It's not an overnight success, as they say. It's not. Everything takes a little bit of time. So I appreciate you guys for getting us started. Should be due. Now we're going to have to go a little bit harder. We're going to have to go a little bit harder. I'm not going to tell you who presented this question to me, but
you never do.
Yeah.
Well, tonight I'm gonna tell you after we address it. I was surprised when I got it, but I just be reaching out to folks and be like, hey, you got anything you want to talk about? Anything you want us to talk about? So here's the question that was presented to me, and I'm going to present it to you guys. Shoot, me too. What's your view? Huh? And hold on, before we start answering, let me do this, because there's somebody in the audience, I'm sure, going, well, what does that mean?
I was about
So hold on, let me get rid of that part. There go. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's a form of ethical non-monogamy that involves committed relationships between two or more people, typically romantic relationships. Essentially being in a, what is it? Polyamorous. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Polyamorous.
Polyamorous. Thank you.
Yeah.
Granada Hills High School. Thank you so much. Being in a polyamorous relationship means that you and your partner have the option of dating other people. Polyamory is not the same as polygamy. And
Correct.
I got that off out of Google. So, should be do. Mhm. Hold on, let me get rid of that. So, what you guys think?
That's
Let me put the
funny.
question back up there for you. Bam. What's your view?
I'm just gonna say, if they like it, I love it. To each their own. You know what I mean? If that's the route they want to go, do it. It ain't hurting me.
I swear I'm not y'all business.
for it,
I am
but
out of y'all business. Y'all enjoy
I
it.
had a I had a contractor that I used to work for. I did a lot of work with him. He was a designer, and I'm the cabinet maker. So we did a lot of work together. And he was in that relationship. After like 3, 4, 5 years working together, he told me he was, with this lady and who had a dude as well, and they lived together in the Calabasas area. And I was like, wow, how does that work? And like the definition said, they were allowed to date other people, but they were almost exclusive. It was really just those three. The lady was with the other guy first before him, and they met, at a bar, and they became friends. Blah 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 blah. And soon enough, he ended up moving in with them. Now, after a couple of years, even after that, she became pregnant by him. The dude who was first in line, or they were together first, he got jealous and he ended up
Why you
leaving,
say
and it
first
just
and
became.
last,
Sorry for the lack of a better phrase. Um,
Oh, okay.
he ended up getting jealous because of the attention the parents began to show the kids together. And to this day, I mean, I haven't done work with him in a while, but uh, she's a sex therapist anyway. I forgot to throw that in.
I bet.
And they give talks. She's been on not I don't want to say Oprah, but one of those talk shows. She's been on several talk shows. But yeah, now it's just them two, even to the day. So I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know if I want.
Look,
I could
man.
do it, but okay, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a dog because this is me. I like to have my cake and eat it too, and that's just honest. I got
Okay.
if my lady would allow that. Not saying she does, not saying she doesn't. I could do it, but it's just me. There's no other penis between us. It's
yeah,
just
Well, dang it, boy. Shoot, me too.
Dang it,
Uh,
buddy.
most of the well, the ones that I've seen are usually one male and multiple females. The relationships that I know that are like that. I think that, yeah, I haven't really seen many personally, that a woman has multiple men, like living together in a unit like that. I was invited into one, but I declined. It was weird. We met him. I met him at a bar. I met them at a club music bar scene, and he sat next to me, and then his girl, who was looked a lot like me, just older, sat next. And he used to be part of the band that I follow, that I went to see. And then the next day he hit me up on Instagram asking if I was in a relationship and if I would want to join their family. I was like, oh, even though I wasn't in a relationship, I just lied and said I was. I'm like, no.
They're gonna get you, Fuego.
Fire. Good.
I think I have the screenshots. I'll have to. Yeah, I was just like,
oh damn, she still got receipts.
I was clueless, and she was looking at me like not very nice, and he was trying to share food with me and this and that, and I just looked at my niece like they're like really friendly, not having a clue that. Yeah.
Hey, I was told it takes a woman to get a woman.
Yeah.
So usually it's the lady that talks to the other lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, folks do. Look, the way if you want to do something, if two people are in a relationship and they both decide, hey, we want to be able to go and date outside of this union or whatever the situation is, if one person does it and it's cool, and the other person does it, it need to be cool. It just whatever y'all do, it needs to be an even playing field. It needs to be a even, it's a two-way street. Don't get mad at her if she's going out and you've been doing it, and don't get mad at him if he's going out and you've been doing it. You see what I'm saying? If y'all decided this is what y'all want to do, then run with it. But if you can't deal with it, it's kind of like if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Don't get your feelings hurt trying to be, something that you're not.
Right.
Because then you just look like a goofball.
Somebody put up, I don't know, 3 can tell us who that was. You can't love two equally. That's not the point, because I don't love anybody equally. I don't love my brothers equally. I don't love my kids. People think love is mono. I don't think monolithic, or maybe that is the word. But love is different. Because everybody has something that brings you to that, to love them or not love them differently. So I just disagree with that. Yeah. I'll put it to you like this. My ex-wife, I don't love her the same as I love Troy now. There's different. So whatever I love this person for is not going to be the same that I love this person for.
Right. You get different things from the different.
That's just my viewpoint. Is exactly.
Shoot, me too. Let's see here.
Yeah, I agree.
Bartender, come on, bartender. I see you.
Exactly.
Bartender.
Not my girl. No. Now I done been in situations where it's the other somebody I don't care about. Yeah. Not like that, but yeah. Sorry.
I'll just have to take y'all word, but I'll never find out if that's true. You know what I'm saying? At that point, I won't be able to find out if I can stand to see that shit or not. Because I mean, why put yourself? Don't go borrowing trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
It's more stuff to deal with in the world than trying to. You already have something and you want more of that when you need to be trying to get more of something that you don't have enough of or at all. Money, real estate. I'm talking about property, stuff like that. That's my thing. I don't know. I get it. I think it's one of those the Western world type of situations, because it's like what the Western world hates in public, they love in private, because they'll talk about other countries. They'll talk about other countries that have, to where a man can have multiple wives. They'll talk about them all day long, but y'all want to do that. Oh, well, that man, he's over there. He's got all these wives because he's rich and this and the third. Okay, so what's different between him and you over here and you're rich and you got one wife and you got all these other women that you're dealing with and you treating them like all of them is your wife. It's the same concept. Over there it's legal though. And he ain't gotta hide it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you're really jealous of somebody else is doing what you want to do and you can't. Maybe. I don't know.
Taboo.
Yeah.
Taboo.
Hmm.
Just need that great one to fulfill you and always. I hear
Look
you,
at
bartender.
bartender.
I hear you,
The last
bartender.
dragon, you hear me?
I hear you, bartender.
But they might be multiple great ones that bring out other ways.
Like Muhammad Ali.
I'm just saying.
Rocky Marciano, you ain't said a word. Come on, say something.
Oh, there they go. There they go. Every time.
Come on, Rocky
I'm just
Marciano.
saying.
You ain't said a whole lot of nothing tonight. I'm listening. That's you three. You know.
I know who
Okay.
it is.
I might share for one night, but I ain't gonna be in no relationship where it's, no.
Hey.
I think to each his own. Like, and
Definitely.
I think a lot of what I'm seeing, which is, social media doesn't justify it. I would need to dig a little deeper, but it seems like a lot of younger people are doing it. But then there are older people. But I think the older people that are doing, I would imagine that comes with a level of maturity. Like they're
Right.
in it for a lot of, they're in it, for me, I think they're in it for more mature reasons than the younger group of people. And again, I can't judge it because I've never experienced it. I'm not interested in it. But to each his own. If that's the way you love and you get down the way you get down. I'm not
And
judging.
people think it's all about the sex. It's not all just about the sex.
Nah.
Yeah, it's the partnership.
It's
Yeah, it's them doing, it's the collective approach and getting things done in the house. It might be kids involved. It might all three people might be four people. They're contributing to the home. Like I think there's more to it also than sex. It's having, maybe they bought a home and they can all afford it together. So they decided to take this route and live together and be in these relationships together. So yeah, to each his own.
And like Devin said, in the West, we in the West are just like in Europe and so forth. They've been showing nudity on commercials and stuff like that, and we still don't do that because of everything is taboo. And if, like Devin said too, we denounce it out in the open, but in closed doors, porn is $1 billion business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just one person watching this. So
How many
but
copies
those
you
are the
got?
same people.
Right.
What'd you say?
How many copies do you got? Oh, I got one person.
Right,
$1 billion?
exactly. It's not one person.
DVDs no more. And no more DVDs.
But our Western culture has tabooed a lot of stuff, like
Yeah.
to make it seem like things are bad. But you're right. When you go to other countries, these are just normal ways of living, and they just let go and just a lot of freedom in other places. But we have all these rules and stipulations because the judgment, like it's so much mess in the Western culture and how we live.
Yeah.
Latrice, good evening to you. Shoot, be do. She says, I know someone living that life, and he always says that having one woman is like having none at all. Wow.
So is he
I ain't gonna agree with that.
is he saying that because one woman isn't giving him enough understanding or enough nurturing, or is it just one woman isn't giving him enough sex? Because if you're saying one woman's like not having one, what is she? A corpse?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
a
She ain't
woman
doing
is
nothing.
going to make where she is that place. So if
Yeah.
he's with her and it's just one, and she ain't doing nothing, then okay, then why you holding on to her in the first place? If
Exactly. That's all
you
I'm
got
saying.
one woman and it's like she ain't got one at all. I mean, he ain't got one at all. Then I don't know. I don't know what's up with her. And what did you do to attract her? But anyway, I don't know.
Hey, man, who am
I think we try to keep up with each other a lot, and that happens with social media, especially in the Western world. It's like if somebody has something or somebody is doing something, and it's like, oh man, they look so happy that they're jumping out of an airplane. I want to go skydiving too. No, you don't. No, you don't. You want the feeling of euphoria that you're going to get from jumping out of the airplane, but you don't actually want to jump out of an airplane. You just want to get the end result of what that person is experiencing when they did it. And it's the same with this. If other people are living this lifestyle and it's working for them, and everybody in their lifestyle, they're all happy. You see that, oh, I want that. And then you try to go do the same thing. Then you looking like an idiot because you try to figure out why is it not working? It worked for them. That's because they made it work. You just wanted what they had, and you didn't see what the whole game plan was to get to that end result. You just saw them smiling, taking pictures, and they're all together. But you didn't see the nights that they stayed up all night arguing until they got on one accord. You didn't see that. You weren't there when the seasoning wasn't right on them peas, and everybody was like, "Look,
Peas and chicken. There you go.
you want that."
It goes back to what we talked about earlier. It's still everything's a process. Everything, even that, and it ain't always gonna be shiny days. You're gonna have discussions about this, that, and the third, and why she do this, and it's a whole lot that you got to deal with. So yeah, that's why I said before. I never say I want to be like somebody else. I've never wanted that. And people that say that, I'm like, wow, why? Because you don't know what it took to get you to get me to be me. You don't know if you could have endured that.
And to
And I
keep
damn
being
sure
that.
don't want to know. Yeah, and to keep doing it. Oh, I wish I was you, Mello. No, you
No,
don't.
you don't. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Better go ahead on with that. I'm telling you, man. I owe some folks
Right.
money right now. You sure?
And you can't handle her like I handle her.
Right.
So with that being the case, you guys, because looking at a lot of the comments, the bulk of us, well, some of us said, hey, to each his own. What you do is what you do. Do your thing. That ain't me. Others, hey, nope, I'm not sharing. I'm not sharing my girl. I'm not sharing my dude. Nope, I'm not with the business. But it makes me think. We're not with what's the word again, Mello? What? Polyamorous?
Polyamorous.
Okay, there we go. We're not with the polyamorous. But how focused are we with the polygamy? How focused are we with that? Because we continue to have conversations about relationships woes. That's WHOAS, woes. We talk about the roles, ROLLS. And we haven't even accomplished a lot of the things that we really need to have accomplished. Your stuff is yours, my stuff is mine. If you ain't giving, I ain't giving. We didn't heard it. If you giving me 50% and I'm giving you 100, you about to get nothing. You get zero. We've heard that right here on the show.
Yeah, live.
Right?
Yeah.
Live. We heard that. So each of us, and I'm not sure, I want to say we all have been married. Yeah. Anybody not been married? So we all have been married. We all have had our issues that ended the relationships that we had or have. Where did we fail? Because now you got a whole new world that's being introduced. As bartender said in his comment, the young people, it's a lot of young people doing this. A lot. This question came by way of my baby girl.
Oh, wow. What?
Wait,
What,
what
Sasha?
time?
Sasha.
My niece?
Yeah. She asked that question. And I was like, that won't work, baby girl. That'll never work. That won't work. It don't work because when you know what you know, you know. I'm sorry, but to those that are
Well,
doing it, yeah, they
tell her to call
probably
her
are.
uncle.
She don't got to
Tell
call
her
her
call her
uncle.
uncle.
Her daddy got that all dialed in, but she can call extra if she wants to. But it just don't work. But this is what's being, again, fed in social media, TikToks.
Right.
I think they got some reality shows about it now and the whole 9 yards. It's I don't watch that stuff. I'm Chef Ramsay in the cooking channel. That's what I do. All that other stuff, forget about it. But
Like I said, I gotta disagree with you, bro. I'm not gonna say blanket is not gonna work because 60% of marriages fail here in the United States, and that's single.
hmm, well,
So
well,
I'm not gonna say that. I don't know the polyamorous how many of those relationships end up not working at all. But like we say here, there's no judgment. I'm not at this stage in my life. I've really learned to not judge. Like three, I think three said it. If it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah.
And
If you like it, I love
uh,
it.
being with the relationships I've been in, currently in, yeah, I'm not gonna discount anything because I'm secure in myself, and I think that's where you succeed or fail. Even in my previous marriage with my kids' mom, I couldn't be my authentic self with her, and I explained that to her, and like she was, I don't want to get a divorce. Let's work out. No, at that point I was,
no, damn.
and it hurt
Hard no.
to see the expression, which is in my book too. I bring that out. It hurt for me to say that and to see how she reacted to that. But that's the truth. And for her to live her truth and me to live my truth, it had to be said and we had to move on. It didn't mean I didn't love her, but I didn't love her in that way. And I told her, I said, if I stay, I am going to cheat. There's no doubt about it. And that's not good for you and it's
Right.
not good for my kids to see that. So let me be me and you can find whatever it is that's going to make you happy, you go find that because I know what's going to make me happy.
Mhm.
And then in turn, that's going to make you unhappy. So that's why I'm saying I wouldn't,
Everybody be happy.
and I'm not telling you, you did what you felt, Onyx, telling Sasha that. I wouldn't have said, no, that's not going to work because I don't know if that's going to work for her. I don't know if that's going to work for my daughter. I don't know if that's going to work for my son because they have to live their lives as we're seeing.
Mhm.
My daughter just came back from Poland at 23 years old. Mississippi is the furthest I've been at that age. So
Yeah.
they're experiencing new things that I'll never understand, and good for them.
Right.
And it
And
says that
really, hold
a
on for you. Hold that
survey.
thought. Hold that
Okay.
thought. Just really fast. My no, it ain't gonna work. Wasn't for her experience. It was for
Mm.
my knowledge of what.
Oh, okay. Well, I
Yeah,
misunderstood you then.
it's my
I
my
misunderstood.
knowledge of. Nah, that ain't gonna work because mm-mm. Red wine, blood pumping. That sounds good,
uh,
powerful.
I'm
But
sorry. I misunderstood you then. I'm sorry.
when you got two power to the people sisters. That ain't gonna work.
It's gonna be some conversations, Jake. I'm like, nah, wait a minute. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna
Yeah,
let y'all have
sorry.
it.
Go ahead, three.
Oh, it's just somebody was asking about statistics, and there it says a survey of 340 polyamorous adults shows their relationships lasting on an average of 8 years.
Hmm.
And why the relationships potentially fail: lack of agreement over time, the main one being broken promises around time seems to be the number one difficulty in poly relationships.
Now,
Yeah,
what's the
because
last thing I would love to see the statistic on single marriages? What's the average marriage length? I would love to see that too.
Let me see.
Good question.
look at
What is it
look at
right
my producer. She is getting statistics, y'all. Come on. Shoot, be do. While she's looking that up, let me say this. Just as in our relationships on our single-based relationships, meaning, you know, boy meets girl, girl meets boy, the duo, the dynamic duo, the rules be changing in the middle of the game. So you
Right.
already
Right.
know in this polyamorous
Right.
relationship, the rules of the game is going to change even more so. Now you talk about 3 sets of rules changing. It won't stay the same. I see you over there with her. You always with her. You spend too much time. Man, we out here trying to handle some business, trying to get the house together, blah, blah, blah. No, you just spend too much time with her. What about me? Uh-oh, here we go.
You put too much salt in them peas. That's what.
No. Why do I hear her talking like that and not me?
Wow. Come on in and find out.
Uh, oh my gosh, that part.
Your wang
But that's
dang
what
doodle.
it is.
Wow. So I don't know if I got exactly what you were asking, but how long does the average marriage last? Because I just said how long
Yeah.
does the average. So the average marriage, on average, the length of marriage in the U.S. is 7 to 8
Yeah.
years.
Wow.
So the same. The
The
number is
same.
the same.
Yeah, people just get burnt, and the number's the same. Like, unless you're honest, like Cliff was just saying, speaking his honesty, but yeah, it's the same.
And that's, you know, it. Wow, 7 to 8 years. That's short.
Damn, I did 10 years hard time.
No commentary. Just out here.
Man,
How many
Yeah,
happy?
no,
How many happy?
I was with them for 20. We were married for 10, and probably 8 out of all the 20 years were probably happy.
and that was the first
Right.
8.
No, that was somewhere in the last 10 years.
The last 8. Wow.
don't they call it a 7-year itch?
7-year itch. That's what they call it.
Wow.
And it says
Well,
like
But you know what?
marriage is divorce most common, years 7 and 8.
Yeah,
It's
there you go.
almost like when people get married, they think that, okay, hey, we're married, we took our vows, we're together now, and we don't ever have to reevaluate our relationship. If you do that, you destined for failure.
yeah,
I know
well,
people
and
that
that's the
literally will
problem.
talk about this every year on their anniversary. They reevaluate what's going on in their relationship because it's like, why keep going year after year and you're not discussing? You know it's a problem, and every year we're gonna act like the anniversary is the day that it's gonna get better. We're gonna ignore it, and then the next day we back to bickering, fussing, and fighting. So you have to constantly reevaluate your relationship, regardless if you're married or not, because if you're gonna be together, if you're progressing as a person, you're gonna be a different person next year than you are today. So, and I expect you to be the same way, and me too. So we have to keep letting each other know where we are. Otherwise, you're gonna drift apart.
Yeah.
And who do you
Yeah.
think, and what do you think research says about who initiates the divorce?
I think
Most
it's the
often.
ladies.
That's a good question. That's a
Ladies.
good question.
A
think
study
it's the
led
ladies.
by American Sociology Association determined that nearly 70% of divorce are initiated by women. And the percent of college-educated American women who initiate divorce is even higher.
I believe that.
Yeah, because I'm an alpha
I
female and
believe
I'm
that.
tired of the bull and I
Right.
don't want to deal
Right.
with you no more. And
Yeah,
Deuce is my ninja, and
No, like R.
I'm
Kelly
moving on.
said, when a woman's fed up. That's what it is.
And or I'm just not
I don't know. I
knowledgeable
couldn't said a lot.
and or I'm just not knowledgeable
He
enough.
also said age ain't nothing but a number.
Right. And I might not be
Nah, me agree
knowledgeable
with
enough
that.
to work through it, to know that there's other options because I'm so fed up that, I don't know. Sometimes women just don't know, like, we really should give this a second chance because of X, Y, and Z, or let's do therapy. But like you said, when a woman gets fed up, they just fed up.
Right. Walter, what up with your Walt? Rev says, look, marriage is work. Things change, you grow, and have to adjust to the different situations throughout your relationships.
Sure.
You're absolutely correct. However, unfortunately, adjust to the different situations. We don't do good with adjusting. That's men, that's women. That's women, that's men. We
Because
speak on what we want.
Change is uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and these are my final words because I gotta go in. But yeah, change is uncomfortable, and that's what, like I said, even back to my kid's mom, she saw the direction in which I was going and pursuing my business. Like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so that took away time from her, from the kids, unfortunately, and I began to see other things, and realize who, like I said, who I was and who I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, it was uncomfortable for her, and she couldn't live with that. And like I said, I wasn't, and that's kudos for her for expressing that, and I didn't want that for her. She deserved to be happy, and I knew I was not going to be that, contribute to that happiness. So that's we all got to live our best life, be as good as we can be to people, and like I said, that's what I'm striving for at this point. But I can't make somebody else happy until I'm happy. I can't love myself until, or love someone else until I love myself. So
Yep. True,
with
true.
that, thank you guys for buying the book. I love you all. Um, Sorry for last week. I wasn't too talkative, but I was going through some things too. And I think someone said earlier the conversation didn't lend to what I was going through for that day. So I kind of just sat back and listened more than had anything to say.
We
But
appreciate it.
anywho,
And
No
that's
love
judgment.
y'all.
See you
No
next
judgment.
week, man. Flip mellow, y'all.
All right.
and and if you did, I don't know if you caught Tamara Alexander. If you scroll up, comment.
That one. I did 23
Mm-hmm.
years married. If I'm honest, around year 15, I was checking out. He was in a polyamorous, I'm learning that word, boy, a polyamorous relationship while I was in a monogamous one. And
Ooh.
like Mello, I wasn't able to be authentic, to be my authentic self in that marriage. Man, thank you for your transparency, Tamara.
Once you start, once you start losing yourself, I don't care if it's a relationship or if it's a job, whatever it is. Once you start losing yourself, if you don't catch it, you're gonna lose all of yourself, and it's gonna be like you gonna feel like you lost everything. You can still have your job and your house and everything, but you're gonna feel like you lost everything because you don't have you. Yourself is gone. What makes you you?
Yeah, and those are facts. I checked out. I left a job years ago on faith because my territory. I was living LA-ish. My territory was Riverside, Menifee, and at the time I had a 4-year-old, and sports and stuff started, and it was becoming too much. I literally walked out on faith and quit my job because, like you said, Dev, it was too much, and I was losing sight of what was important to me in my work and in my family. And I literally, when I say I stepped out on faith, and didn't work for almost a year and a half, and decided to raise my child. But just like you're saying, when you start to lose yourself, it's time to make other decisions. And I did that. The stress level was increasing from driving from my current location to Riverside County to Menifee. It just got too much. And I was damaging me. And I knew it was time to like let it go. God will have something else in place for you. But your well-being and your state of mind is more important than just settling because you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Mhm. Facts. I'll just say, I agree. Marriage is a job. It requires consistent reporting for duty. Show up. If you really look back in your relationships and just ask those questions, what happened? The communication gap or break in the communication line. Um, the routine, mundane parts of your relationship. You're just doing the same old, same old. What they say, how you got me is how you supposed to keep me. Keep doing those things. We lose focus on a whole lot of that. We forget about how important it is to go out on a date We forget how important it is. I know we got kids, but we still need intimate time with each other.
Right.
There's a time for you, a time for me, a time for us, and a time for we. We forget that. Me and you, it's just me and you. Not me, you, and the kid or kids. It's just me and you. Come on. Then there's it's just me, so I can recharge myself. It's just you, so you can recharge yourself. Then we could do we. That's me, you, the kids. But we forget those things. We take them for granted. And then the next thing you know, here we are, year number 8. We on the downward spiral. Some of us make it a little bit longer. I know we've joked about it. I still want to know, how was it that Mama and Pawpaw, Big Mama and Big Daddy, how was they able to last forever and ever and ever?
They
Yeah.
probably didn't let stuff get to them. The stuff that we get to us and causes us to say, okay, we're gonna make a definite decision to not be together anymore. They said, okay, well, we're gonna keep it going. Not saying everybody did that, but I mean, it's a lot of stuff that was going on in those days, and didn't nobody know about it but whoever was in the house. Because everybody stayed to themselves, they kept their own business in the house. So if he out here cheating, she out here cheating with the mailman, and he got kids on the other side of town, and they the only ones that know about it, then when you see them, they together at the family reunion and the weddings and the funerals and everything else, and you don't know nothing that's going on, and because they kept it to themselves. That's how they did it. It ain't that they was perfect. They just was doing stuff and they didn't, and stuff wasn't publicized like it is now with the media.
It was simpler times too, with less distractions, worldly distractions. So, but yeah, definitely stuff was going on.
Right.
And I love how Walter, not that this is ending the conversation because that's not my job, but I love, if you scroll up, that when Walter said, you got to know if it's worth the effort. He
Which
talks
one?
about having
I see
28
2.
years.
Okay, that one. Got it.
Yeah, like, I commend him for this. I have 28 years of adjusting it. It can be done if you want it. Make up your mind, whatever happens, we're going to work it out. Like I said, if I got married again, I'm not getting a divorce again. We locking doors and we talking it out. We battling because I'm not doing that again. We're gonna know about each other. We just gonna have to go down fighting because I'm not getting married again to get a divorce again. I'm not doing that.
You know what? And I'm guilty of it. Fighting is our downfall. We don't fight. We don't fight to keep it going.
That part.
We just do like this. Oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. It's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
We just quit.
Or we quit and we think, and this I don't know the statistics, but I think that when we want to fight, and we're especially women, and we're like, okay, listen, let's figure this out. Looks like we might need some therapy. Let's do individual therapy and collective therapy. But most men, and I could be wrong, back in the day, I'm older now, double nickels, but back in the day when I was younger, most men would say, I don't need no therapist.
Right.
We don't need to talk to somebody about our stuff. It's just not working. But we forget to take that extra leap to push each other and believe in each other. Like, look, we got to do this. Let's do this. It's worth every minute of it. Let's just, and if that doesn't work after we've done that, then okay, I get it. But let's try. Let's get some therapy. But most men will not want therapy.
Yep.
True. But on the flip side of the coin, there are those fellas that do go to therapy. But guess what? That therapeutic session becomes a gripe session about the guy. All the things that he ain't doing, but we ain't addressing the ladies or the lady.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm only speaking from some shared experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I went to therapy with my girl, and it just turned into a whole bitch session about me. And I'm sitting there going, well, what the hell?
Did you bitch back?
No, He didn't.
Well, and sometimes I'm not a therapist, a psychologist, all that stuff. But sometimes we don't get to the root of the problem.
Right.
The problem sometimes it has nothing to do with the argument.
Right.
There's an underlining traumatic event that has happened to you in the past. You're dragging it into this relationship. There's a bottom line somewhere, and the bottom line is what we're not speaking on. What's the root of the problem? Okay, yeah, you didn't do something in the house I didn't like. I didn't do something you didn't like. But what's the root of the problem? That's what we're afraid to get to. And if we get to that, then I think truths are spoken, and then we can heal. Then we can start, because there's always the root, and we don't always know what the root is. And sometimes we're afraid to speak to that root because it brings up some of our traumatic past that we've like shut out of our life, and that we've just put in this own room. Like, I can't open up that can of worms, but that can of worms needs to be opened up in order for us to move forward.
It's almost like weeds. Not weed, but weeds. If you don't get that weed by the root, you're going to continue to have weeds. It's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. So when you pull them, you got to get all of the roots, which basically, when you look at us, you want to fix the problem, you want to address the problem, you got to dig deep to get down to what is the root issue at hand, and you pull that out, and we can move forward.
Absolutely. Alvin, I don't know if you see Alvin's question. I don't know if we have answers for you, but what if the therapist relationship is unstable? How can they give advice?
Come on, let me give this to him.
Listen, you better leave that therapist.
Hey.
You better leave that therapist. They not the one for you.
Alski, look, let's be real. Some of these therapists are going through some similar situations as the patients. Mm-hmm. They ain't saying nothing, but they are. I always ask this question. There are a lot of ladies who do hair, right? Beauticians. But who do they hair? Who do they hair? Who do they trust to do their hair? Something to think about. Therapists, same thing. They got issues because they are listening to your problem, your problem, your problem, my problem. Sure. They listen to everything. Who do they get to exhale to? Because you know they taking some of their work home just as you take your work home. Sure. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sean
Absolutely.
said, I do
Gotta
my
find
own
the right
hair.
fit.
Check baby out. Go ahead, Sean. I ain't mad at you. Hey, I do my own hair too.
Well, apparently with this hat on, I do my own too.
Hey, you just had birthday, right? Shooby do.
Yeah, shooby do.
Anywho, y'all, look, we still have lots of work to do. We do. We just need to address whatever the issue is. Just, you don't have to try to fix everything all at once. Just pick something, address it, see if you can get a conclusion out of it, move forward. For those of us on the outside, don't force anybody to try to fix anything. Time is what prevails. Let time fix the situation if that's what it's going to be. Be there to be a listening ear if that's what you want. If not, say, no, I can't do it. Are you available? No, I'm not available. Sorry. You're going to have to share that with somebody else. Then you don't have to worry about taking on somebody else's problems. Outside of that, you guys, remember, man, if you are in that polyamorous type relationship, hey, that's your business. Do what you do. No judgment here. I'm not mad at you. Do your thing. Baby girl, we is going to talk further about it because that ain't for you. Oh, that ain't for you. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
You may
No,
not let that child grow and learn and get some experiences in her life. Not that I'm saying that's one she needs, but
I'm here to guide. I'm not here to tell her what to do. I'm here to guide. Trust and believe me. But I am grateful for her participation. She actually hit me with the bombshell today. Like, whoa, Shooby do. But on a closing note, I did watch another TikTok, and it was talking about dating. And one young lady said, if she has to pay for half of the meal, then fellas, you ain't getting none of the cookie over here. You ain't getting nothing. I'm like, oh wow, okay. But then the other young lady on the panel, she said, you wrong for that. And the girl said, really? She said, yeah, because you know what DATE stands for, right? DATE. You guys know what that stands for?
No.
Whoa, I'm gonna teach y'all something. DATE, DATE stands for dick at the end. So just remember when you go out on the date, you're supposed to. No, I'm just playing. But that's what she said. So that's our time, you
That's
guys.
fun.
I that is funny, right? I appreciate you guys for being here. You could be anywhere you wanted to be, but you chose to be here with us. I'm gonna take us out with oops, dang it, boy. I just messed that up. Oh, there it goes. I'm gonna take us out with a nice appropriate song for the day. Little Dave Hollister. I don't own the rights to this here music, but I'm gonna play it because we love music. The song is entitled One Woman, One Woman. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of that, and then we're gonna get up on out of here, y'all. Let me see here. It's so funny running into you. Y'all remember that song? Since we and before I forget, next week, y'all, we talking about it. Snoopy Cliff Mellow's book, we are talking about it. If you have not picked up your copy, it is entitled The Next Dynasty. Failure is not an option. Pick it up on Amazon, you guys. Pick it up. We talking about it next week. And it was over. That's when I was wilding out. Yes, sir. See you, Alvin. Thank you for being here, man. All the nights I used to beat it up. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all have a good night.